Trump advisors telling Axios that the former president is adjusting his agenda, the GOP platform, his debate style, and who he will pick as his running mate to try to win more of the key voting blocks in 7 different swing states. Here with reaction is Fox News contributor Kellyanne Conway. Hey, Kellyanne.
Hey, Ainsley. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How important is this to readjust, to look over, new plans going forward before the election?
I look at it all as expansion, how Donald Trump is expanding his electoral map. You even have media outlets now looking at Minnesota, New Hampshire, Virginia, possibly New Mexico as places where President Trump can be competitive, at the very least force the Biden team to spend time and money, precious resources that are dwindling for them by the day, in those states that nobody saw as competitive a short time ago. And I think he's expanding his reach into these demographic cohorts. Ainsley, I'm going to just tick off a list of groups for you. African Americans, Hispanic Americans, young Americans, gay and lesbian households, veterans, union households, all of these groups, Donald Trump is doing better among than your typical Republican candidate, because he's not a typical Republican candidate. And he doesn't need to win 50% of any of those groups to actually win the presidency. That's the key. Politics is about math and science. And if you can mitigate and in some cases eliminate the traditional deficits that a Republican presidential candidate would have among those key constituencies, you win. He's also just eating into what's a very bad news cycle, an extended 2-week news cycle now for the Democrats. And I think his VP pick is incredibly important. As he told Brian Kilmeade and others, he's got a lot of great choices. I totally agree. He can't go wrong with the list that he's got, his long short list. I do think the person can't be a subtraction and a distraction and a detraction, because you don't want the news cycle to shift from Joe Biden's health and Donald Trump's policy agenda, his poll numbers, over to whoever that VP candidate is, if it's somebody who's a big shock and a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, you know very well, it's frustrating if you watch other networks. They don't tell you the truth. We've seen that. Then we saw the debate, and everyone's realizing now. And if you follow on social media, which a lot of young people do, they're trying to connect Donald Trump to Project 2025. He says, I'm not behind that at all.
He has made that very clear, and I think some people are ships without a port in the age of Trump, and maybe got a little bit ahead of their skis, a lot ahead of their skis. I've known this for a while. I've actually had the conversation with him previously. You can't have former, quote, Trump administration officials speaking for him when you're trying to foist policy that would not come from him. And this platform is much more aligned with the Trump America First agenda. Look, I was in Manhattan. It's been made public. I was in Manhattan on Monday night at a fundraiser that Melania Trump hosted for the Log Cabin Republicans. It's the second event she's hosted at one of her private homes, one in Mar-a-Lago, this one in Trump Tower. Ainsley, they feel that this is a platform that welcomes everyone. I think President Trump is going to do much better among different constituencies the Democratic Party has taken for granted for so long. Also, this is President Trump's nomination, his convention, his presidency. And I think there's so much in the America First agenda that we can all agree with without having to, without having to be too aggressive in the words that are said. He wants to be expansive and inclusive, not exclusive. He's unifying the party at a time when the Democrats are dividing their party. I was up on Capitol Hill yesterday talking about health care with Republican leaders and members. The Democrats are talking about one man's health care. I want the Republicans to talk about everyone's health care and come up with an affirmative, positive plan. But Donald Trump is unifying the party. He's sitting with Mitch McConnell. He's endorsing Larry Hogan. He's considering people for his VP who weren't that exactly kind to him in the past. So as you're unifying the party, you have to have a platform that does the same.
Kellyanne, thank you so much. Congratulations on your new Fox Nation show. Go and watch it. It drops every Thursday. First one today. It's called Here's the Deal on Fox Nation. Thank you, Kellyanne. All right, be sure to tune into Fox. It's exciting.
Thanks, Ainsley.
Yeah, you're welcome. Be sure to tune into Fox and Friends all next week. We're going to come to you live from the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. We're all heading out this weekend.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.